Hello everyone, welcome back to another session with me. This is Sanyukta Saxena and let's get started with today's session. We are going to further our series, our journey with some of the lesser used tangles, at least by me. Yes, so I'm again going to pick up two chits, randomly pick two tangles. So I have picked up two chits and let's open it and see what is in store for us today. This tangle is called Orlique. Okay. And this tangle is called Twing. Wow, what an interesting combination. So let's get started with today's session. So let us start. What I'm going to do today is Orlique is both of these tangle, basically Orlique and Twing do not have any much of inking involved unless you want to do a tangulation. Yes. So I'm going to draw the tangles in such a way that they kind of look like going inside each other, something like this. So I'm going to start from one side of my tile and going to draw these zigzag lines like this, and then I'm going to double line it. So I've started with the tangle Twing, which starts with these zigzag lines. There are many tangles in Zentangle which start like this. Yes, and probably I'm going to add a little more weight to the inside, the second aura that we added. I'm doing it at the same time. Well, you can always do that later. Adding a little weight to the second aura to give the effect of a shadow. Like this. Like this. Yeah. So done with that. Now the next step is to add these dividing lines. So how do we have to add it? One side is like this. Again, add a little weight to the second aura. And then you have to change the direction of the line like this. Again, you have to change the direction of the line like this. You can draw a little bit here. I'm not drawing the entire thing. And once you draw like this, then again I'm going to change, alternating the directions. Like this. Yes, and then one of the sections has orbs and the other section has fine lines. So pick any section. For example, I'm going to add orbs in this part of the triangle, which is stipple, and the other half you just have to add fine lines. Now if you don't want to add lines, you can always ink, add Knightsbridge, add any other drama tangle here, right? So if you don't want to add lines, that's one tangulation that is possible. You can play around with the tangle Twing there. Well, if you want, you can close it like this. That's your choice, right? So let's do this exercise for all the sections. Again, rotate your tile, add orbs in the upper section. Like this. Again, adding tipple. You can also add all orbs of the same size. And then the same exercise here. Take your time. Small tiny spaces in between. Just fill it up, ink it at the same time. And then again I'm going to add those lines. You can always add highlights, just the way we did while drawing the tangle yin cut. Yes. Fine lines. I'm not pushing my pen hard. You can also draw lines with some weight at the end. Yeah. So if you want to play around, there's a whole lot of things that you can do with this tangle. However, right now I'm not deviating from the basic tangle, because the purpose of this series is to revisit some of those tangles that we do not use quite often. Quite underrated, but yes, they are beautiful tangles to draw. Take your time. Breaking lines in between to add highlights. Like this, and the last section I'll do in the exactly same way. So I'm done drawing my twing, and now as I mentioned, I'm going to draw my tangle or leak. So I'm going to add a zigzag line, something like this. Yeah, and probably draw my orlique coming in between my twing, and then we can extend our twing the way we want. Yes, so orlique is a tangle which is just like a mesh. However, you can either draw it with straight lines or you can draw it with curved lines. So let's do a fun thing here. Although it's a very simple tangle to draw, let's alternate our pens. Yes, so let's use thick and thin pens. That's the minimum that we can do to bring about a variation in the look of the tangle. Yes, so I'm going to switch between two pens. Let's not cap it. So the waves can be in any fashion, they need not be systematic. It's not like closely orying the lines. The wavy lines, you can draw the waves far away, distant, and you need not copy the previous wave or aura it. You can draw it in any which way. Yes. Just giving a slight character by varying the nib size. Fun. So this is not all. We will add lines vertically also to create that curvy zigzag mesh to get the tangle or leak. Right now I'm just drawing one set of lines. However, what I'm doing is I am alternating my nibs. You can add two thin lines. That's perfectly fine. Just go with what you feel like. Right, now we'll draw the second set of lines. So again I'm going to alternate, continue doing that exercise. As I mentioned, you can either keep the lines equidistant or they can be apart. Now we get the tangle or leak. If you want to draw a straight line grid and just draw a mesh like thing, that's fine. Even that is tangle or leak. Generally, as the original tangle goes, you generally don't see or leak with straight lines. It's kind of a wavy, crisscross, nice texture filler tangle. Yes, so I'm varying the nib size to get a little more, add a little more to the look of the tangle. Yes, take your time. Go ahead, do the exercise till here. Almost finishing drawing my orlique. So some of the lines are thicker, some of them are thinner, and now you can extend whatever is visible. Drawing behind. Yes, and then you can fill up the space with those fine lines. Like this. Yeah. Now you still have some spaces left on your tile. So it is entirely up to you what do you want to do with that place. Now, since we have tipple and fine lines here, so we can always add tipple only in sections, or probably we can add black to these sections and then add tipple with our white GellyRoll. That would be interesting. Yes, let's do that. So I have this bold black pen with me. You can use a graphic one or a 10, Micron 10 for faster filling. Since we don't have drama on this style, we didn't have much of inking, but as I gave you options, you can always ink these sections and add some drama tangle. This is the original tangle, the way it is drawn. However, if you want to create tangleations, you have the option to add that drama through your tangle twing also. But here we are doing something else. We are inking the remaining portion of the tile, and then we are going to add tipple or puffs or dots, whatever you want to call it, to add that drama to our tile. Yes, Tangles, Twing and Orlique. Slowly take your time. And here it's a big section, so just this part also you can add fine lines. Yes. And then I'm going to ink the entire section. Yes. Let's do that. So I'm done with my inking. Now I'm going to use my GellyRoll 10 and start with some bigger orbs. The ink is yet to dry up, like these. And the second row I'm going to diminish the size a little bit, like this. And the third row I'm going to diminish it even more, almost simple dots. And then if you want, you can just add some very fine dots like these. Yes, so let's do that for all the sections. Bigger orbs, a little smaller orbs, and a simple dot. I just switched my GellyRoll. And the next would be a little smaller. You can add puffs, you can add dots. Puffs would be smaller orbs. And then you can diminish the size even more. And then you can just go with some very fine dots. Yes, you can add some random dots like these also. So let's do that for the last section also. A little bigger orbs, and then some smaller orbs, and one or two dots. A lot of people keep asking me about GellyRolls also. So I keep two brands actually, Sakura and Uniball. And I also keep an acrylic white or a Posca handy. So yes, it can be a little difficult at times to work with GellyRolls, but mostly not. Let's now shade our tile. So I am going to add some shadow here. Let's use a darker pencil. So adding some dark shadow here and here. Let's first blend this much and then we can add more. Adding shadow under those lines with a weight. Slowly take your time, blend. You can add shadow here. You can either enclose the entire region or you can just add shadow to one side. Whichever way you like it. Spaces are small. Yes. And then you can add on the ends. Slowly take your time. Right? And enhancements are always welcome. So let's add those floating pearls. You can also add water droplets if you wish. Probably we'll do that in the next tile that we draw. Add water droplets as an embellishment. Yes. And that's it. It's a simple tangle to draw. Two very simple tangles that we combined interestingly, revisiting some of the lines. Always a good idea. Well, you can use your chalk pencil and highlight some of the spaces if you wish. Spaces are small, so just slight touches is all you require. You already have a highlight here, so I'm not going to do that. If you want to add some bit of chalk to your Orlique, you can do that. Some highlight on the whites, some bit of shadow underneath the pearls. And that's it. So that's about it. I don't think we need to add anything else to this tile. Make sure this portion is dark enough to give the effect of a shadow falling on your Orlique. Yes. So one more place where you can add some bit of weight is this line, or you can redo this line. That's it. Let's close our tile here. Put in your chop. Yes. Always sign and date your tile. I shall see you again with some more interesting sessions. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.